Oh, that's my
Okay,
fault.
let me try that again.
Hold on, let me try that again. What's going on, everybody? It's Monday. I'm Mike.
Can you hear us now?
This beautiful lady is Wendy.
Oh,
and
okay.
You are in the marriage shop.
So
that sound thing. It's our producer. We're about to fire the producer, and like bring on somebody else. So if y'all know somebody who's into that, let us know. We about to fire our producer. So anyway,
That's so funny.
Yeah.
And then the little thing said something about go scroll back up. It says never miss a comment. Click on the chat. So yeah, we're glad to be here. We're still in Augusta. We're in the shop. So I said, hey, Lindu, and look at this, y'all. FaceTime. I'm gonna put her on.
no, not tonight. Don't
Yeah,
do it.
Yep, I'm
Don't
gonna do it.
Do it.
Hey girl, we in the marriage shop.
You know where we are. All right.
Love you. Call
You
you
good?
back.
Okay. It's like this is like a private
Love you.
moment. Anyway, all right.
Bye. Call you back. So yeah, Lindu, this is what I said. This is what y'all missed. Always glad when you're in here. You beat us in here. You must have your alarm set, and that is giving me life. Lisa, Sheila Sanders, right.
Welcome.
Always glad when y'all drop in the shop. LD Ferguson, thank you for being here, and Sheila Sanders, right. Thank you for letting us know that you heard music, but you couldn't hear us. So yes. Always glad when y'all drop in here. So y'all must be ready to talk about this hot season, or y'all must be in the fan club with me.
So yeah.
Man, we are gonna jump into it, but we are just blessed and glad to be in Augusta. Even though, man, if wherever you are is like it is here. It is HOTTTT exclamation point, exclamation point,
It's hot,
exclamation
y'all.
point. It's hot.
Pretty hot. It's pretty hot. My truck typically, when you sit your car in the sun, it'll give you that outrageous reading, and then you get to driving and things cool down, and it gives you the real reading. Only thing is now that reading doesn't change. You get to driving, and outside, man, it's crazy. And I'm trying a new thing now where I go outside and I try not to like crunch my face up like it's hot. I try to walk like I'm chill, like just another day. But you can't help it. It's like there's a heat cringe.
Well, hey, Linda Tyson. Yeah,
Hey, Linda.
they told us these days were
Yeah.
coming. Yeah, LD Ferguson, it's your first time. Woo! We don't
What?
do that for everybody.
We don't do that for like anybody. So congratulations, welcome.
No, welcome to the shop. Yeah, I think we're all over it. They
Hey.
told us this was coming with global warming, and it's like We get there. No, we here, y'all. We are here.
Global warming, or it could be Georgia. Even though there's a heat dome across the nation. If you're in it, you know. That's all. We in it. I think we're in it. I think we're actually on the outskirts of it. We haven't even.
We're not in it.
I on the news today. There was like they showed it. I don't think we were in it yet. But we're in Georgia. This is like, hey man, that's what it is.
It's hot central. Yeah. Well, we lived in San Antonio for a number of years, and in San Antonio, you didn't buy a black car. You didn't want to touch your door when you definitely didn't have black seats. You could fry an egg on the sidewalk. It was hot. We've been to Thailand. Thailand, you walk out the door and it was like instant. You just broke out in the sweat.
Instant what?
You heard
me. Do it again.
No, I can't do it. No, because it was just like instant. Like you felt like you were gonna spontaneously combust.
Oh boy, yeah, that was
Thailand.
That's a different kind of hot and thick. I mean, thick air in Thailand. So
you expected it.
This is not quite Thailand, but it's close. It's close. It's not quite the desert. I won't go that far. It's not that. Desert's different. Even though desert, it's a dry heat. This is not dry heat at all. This is you're getting your money's worth here.
Hey, GA. Randy Cochran. And Carolyn Bird. Oh, she said it was 105 in DFW right now. Oh Lord, at the end of the day.
Yeah, they're an hour behind, right? So they're sitting right in that pocket where it might get let's go 106. Let's go.
Yeah.
Big money. Anyway,
I mean, we've been in Arizona when it was like 108.
No wonder. Those rooms are so cheap. Oh, it was such a good deal. First time in Arizona, we had no idea. It was middle of summertime.
Y'all, so we know hot, and this is hot.
Yeah.
And so we feeling for, and man, there's a lot of pregnant women out there right now. I'm just saying, it seems like everywhere I've been in the last week or so, it's a whole lot of mamas out there expecting. Have you noticed that?
I noticed that and did a little research.
Yes, you did.
So, guess what, y'all? And actually, you know what? This is probably not a secret because this is y'all out here doing this stuff. But apparently, the top time of the year for conceiving babies between Thanksgiving and Christmas. Go figure.
Yeah,
because I'm like, man.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying all these June, July, August. I mean, it's like a lot of summer babies.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's got to be something. It's the holidays.
Yeah, I thought it was because it was cold. Like, you could think, you know, back in the day, years ago, you know, it's cold outside and we inside. There's nothing to do and we all curled up and cuddled up, right? But right, Lisa, that's what I thought. It was cold,
it's
the holidays and people are feeling all, you know,
it's the holiday
close.
Season and doody-doo and dickory dock, whatever. Anyway, you know, y'all those holiday songs y'all like, you know, crazy kids. Anyway,
cuddle time is sweater weather.
Yes.
So anyway, and so I feel for those women. I really, 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 really do, because all you want to do when it gets hot is take all your clothes off. So you would think when it's hot, you take all your clothes off, that there'd be more babies born in the other half of the year, because we taking all the clothes off when it get hot.
It's different. There's generating your own heat a la wintertime, and then there's just being hot.
Yes.
And then being more hot. And so people are not trying to be all, I mean, they are, but it's different in the wintertime. A lot of times in the summer, I mean, at least I heard, it's like, yo, give me some space. Let some air circulate in here.
Yes. I'm so glad to hear you say that, because I'm going to be talking about that in a minute.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, see, let them know where you been. I was giving you the shout out. Oh, Johnny Foster. Oh, my goodness. Hello, my friend.
Hey, Johnny.
What? Did I just what?
No, go ahead.
No, I said hey to Lindu at the top, and then she was just dropping in with the emojis. But hey, Johnny is like rarely here.
I know.
At least, you know, rarely comment.
So hey, hopefully it's working well tonight, Johnny.
Yeah.
Right.
So Lisa said, I have a bunch of summer babies. Holidays are cool, but it was cold. LOL. Yeah. Yes.
Where's Brian anyway? Get him in here.
Yeah. So we're glad you guys are in the shop tonight. As we promised, we were going to get into some things. And, you know, as Mike always reminds me, it doesn't necessarily matter what we talked about before, because, you know, over the years, we're probably going to talk about it again. Because things change, people change, and times don't really change. I mean, it just kind of goes around, it comes around, it goes around, it comes around again. And some things are just worth talking about again. And this has come up so many times, but I think it's necessary to hit it probably from different angles. Yeah?
Agreed. And so before we do that, I gotta, because I know there's some tension right now amongst the people, and I gotta resolve that tension real quick. Because
there's tension?
Oh, absolutely, because it's preseason, it's football. NFL preseason has kicked off, and some people have elected to go with team gear tonight. Now, if you know me well enough, you know that I'm all about them boys, right? And so to be allowing this in my house right now, this is the epitome of love and grace and surrender, all that, right? I'm pretty sure I bought this T-shirt that she's wearing.
You bought this T-shirt.
That's another talk for another day. I just needed to, because somebody out there is like, wait a minute, yeah, you're not confused. Don't adjust your screens.
Oh my
This
goodness.
garbage is here. Anyway,
an olive tree branch has been extended. So this is twofold. Number one, yes, this is a Commanders T-shirt. I have gone back home. Two years ago, I declared that I was going back to the DMV with my allegiance with my mom's team, the Commanders. Jaden Daniels is back. Hopefully, he'll be healthy. There's a great series on Netflix right now that'll probably bring you back in the fold. But
get on with it.
I say this and I say that. But it's also a W. So, it's just one of those things. Anyway, but I'm looking at Lynn Now she going in with she got the football on there. I guess that's Atlantic City, or is that AC for air conditioning? I don't even know. Then this look like a cigarette. You gotta tell me what you're saying. You speaking in code. Okay, thank you, Lisa. I need the forgiveness. Hey, Dana Jones Stokes. It's not the same when you're not here. Thank you, sis, for being here. So yeah. So I don't even remember what we talked about last week. Did we wrap up something last week? And you said don't ask you. What did we talk about last week?
The question last week was, does your grace have limits? Which naturally brings us into this conversation because because most people, if you ask them about their marriage, if you ask them, hey, does your grace have limits? Their answer is going to be, generally speaking, no. Or there's that one thing maybe that they can't look past, can't get beyond, can't forgive. But most people would say, ideally, no, my grace doesn't have limits.
Yeah.
Why? Because there's no limits to the grace that Christ has for us.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And so, yeah, that's the conversation we got into. But then we're kind of going into this idea of things that challenge the limits.
Oh yeah.
Of your grace, right? And that's why I, on that post, we have that meter, right?
Oh yeah.
And you see the grace meter, the needle getting close toward the red area, because sometimes, let's be real about it, like in life, in marriage, it can feel like that tank is beginning to run low. Yeah. Right.
That's good.
We'll be talking about things that cause that tank to run low.
Yeah, and you said something to me. You had a bit of an epiphany. You remember? Do you remember what you said?
I have so many epiphanies.
I know, but it was after we got done. I know. It's like your brain never stops. Oh, I love it. She said, I didn't mean that, AC. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, 77 times 7. Amen.
Yeah.
No, you were talking about how it was something about extending grace, and that it was something about me tolerating you, and it might not have been.
So. I think, yeah, I do. I think that's something we'll get into in the conversation.
Okay.
The basic premise of that thought was, when things start changing around here, when perhaps tempers run a little hotter, or perhaps patience runs a little shorter.
Yeah.
And it seems like, you're changing. Like, all of a sudden you're reacting to things you didn't react to before. My point was, like, maybe before, like, all those things were as irritating.
Yes.
But your ability maybe to like keep those to keep it in the pocket is challenged at some points in life. This point in life.
Oh my goodness.
So okay, you don't have. You kind of testifying right now. I'm gonna need you to. I need you to
Yeah.
calm
Well,
down.
because when you said it, I was like, you know what? I haven't really thought about that, but you're exactly right. I realized that there are a lot of, over the years, there are a lot of things that, we just decide we're going to let go, right? It's not worth the fight. I mean, I can just get over that. There are a lot of things that we just kind of sweep to the side, sweep under the rug. I'm going to extend grace. I'm just going to let that go. Maybe there are little things that you do that maybe minorly irritate me or get on my nerves, right? I think we all have those things. I mean, I think maybe, I don't know, y'all let me know. Maybe there's some things that your spouse does that maybe mildly irritate you, but you just decide, ooh, he said after 4 years you're weaponized.
Funny. Yeah,
but
we'll
after, you just decide that, you know what? These things, I don't like these things, but it's just, it doesn't bubble up to the level of, I need to ask you to stop, or it irritates me enough, or anything like that, right? But then something shifts, or there's that one time when I'm already in a mood, or something else happens, and it's almost like the straw that breaks the camel's back, as they say, and I just can't take it today.
Yep. Which drop overflows the bucket?
Which drop overflows the bucket?
Yeah.
I have not heard that before.
I know. I just made it up. I be doing that. Anyway, so you know what I'm saying? It's like you can fill a bucket up, you can slow the trickle down, and you could be just being drop. And you can, there are a lot of drops that go in, but at some point things are gonna breach. And so because what I think we're talking about is a capacity issue, a capacity to manage things. So we're gonna get into all that.
Yes.
And so we're talking about the change, y'all. We're talking about menopause. Now, here's one important note. There's a video circulating around. There are many, but I got one in particular from a friend of mine just the other day. And the guy's basically saying, listen, I understand you're going through, you're in perimenopause and things are changing and this and that and blah, blah, but you need to understand what I'm doing. And he kind of rattles off this list of things, right?
Is he still alive?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, as far as I know, he's AI. But I think that we gonna get to you fellas, right? But I think in order to deal with the things we're going to talk about, because as we go over the next several weeks, we're going to talk about this issue for a couple of weeks probably. We're going to come back around and we're going to talk about some things that impact men specifically, right? So as we walk through this, I need you to kind of keep it together, keep it in the pocket, like let's keep the main thing and focus on what we're talking about, and be careful of the but what about piece, right? Because some of these things we just need to understand. So let's get into it.
Okay, but wait, Lisa said all of them. I think it's a brilliant answer to your question. Which drop overflows the bucket?
Oh, yeah.
All of them.
Okay. Yes.
That's good.
Okay. All of them. Like all of them. Is that like any of them?
Right. I mean, because each thing it accumulates over time. There's a danger. I mean, it's kind of a departure from what we're talking about, but there is a danger in stuffing. There's a danger in not addressing some of those little things, which is a conversation for another day.
It is.
But we're not suggesting that you should just let things compile, especially if things are bothering you. Some of those little things. Let go what you can let go of, but definitely be cognizant of things that could be potentially eating away or eroding your patience when there's a real problem.
See, let's get back on, because you're begging the next question. When there's a real problem, how do we determine what the real problem is? A real problem, et cetera. I mean, it's a conversation.
So for example,
it's not tonight's conversation.
Okay, so here's tonight's conversation. So here's what I'll say about a real problem. Yeah, exactly. The small things work collectively. So real problem versus maybe a not so real problem. So I know when I've reached my limit, or when my limit is being impacted, or when my patience is being tested, when I can hear Mike chew and swallow. And I can hear him chew and swallow all the time, but there are times when it is absolutely magnified 500 times. And what I mean by that is I could be sitting next to him, I could be across the room, and then all of a sudden he'll swallow, and he swallows hard, and it's so loud. It's almost like the whole house reverberates, right? So, he'll eat, and here's the thing, he may not even be eating. he'll just go to swallow, like you just swallowed. He'll
did.
go to swallow, and it's just like he swallows. It's like I can hear it go from his mouth to his throat, and then I can hear like each iteration as it goes down his throat. I can hear it through his chest as it travels all the way down through to his stomach, and then I can hear it in his stomach, and it's like, do you have to swallow that loud? When this happens, it is a signal to me that something has changed in me. Nothing has changed in him, but something has changed in me.
So,
yes.
Look. Now,
not a real problem. This is an example.
Not a real problem. And it is obvious that some people just like are very sensitive to certain sounds. Right? Anyway.
No, because again,
yeah,
you swallow every single day.
Yes.
You have to swallow to live.
Must. Yeah.
You are not weaponizing your swallow. You are not trying to swallow louder to annoy me.
Yes.
But in that moment, it is like you said, I want to disrupt her peace. Hold on. Let me.
And it's funny because you would
wind up.
You would think that I chew with my mouth open. It's not that. Anyway, get on track. Let's go.
I am on track because what I'm trying to demonstrate, because we talked about between a real problem or something that somebody is deliberately doing or has done, from something that's not really a problem, but it becomes an issue.
Got it. But we're downstream. Let's
we
go
are
upstream.
kind of downstream. So
please,
upstream
like
from
right
that
now.
issue.
Let's go.
So what we're talking about is menopause, right? And so tonight we're just going to talk about what it is, some of the symptoms, some of the things. So many of you already know. I mean, the clinical definition of menopause is the cessation of menstruation. So let's take it all the way back. So men, if you know your wives or significant others or longtime partners or girlfriends or whatever situation that you're in, menstruation starts in or around from the ages of 9 to 12 years old in most women. There is no set time. There's no set start time. It depends on maybe when her mother started menstruation. Menstruation is the menstrual cycle that she has. It's the time of the month, the cycle that she has. It's the time where she bleeds or sheds the uterine lining, the walls that are in the uterus. It is the process that her body goes through. Won't get into all of the follicular lining and all of that stuff, but it's the shedding of the lining of the uterus that results in the blood flow that she has every month. For most women, it's a 28-day cycle. For some women, it's a longer cycle or a shorter cycle. For some women, it's light. It could be a light color. It can range from blue to a really, really, really dark brown. It can be bright red. Different colors, different lengths of time. It could last 2 days. It could last 10 days. It all depends. Every woman is different.
And by the way, even that, because that's not the focus tonight, but even that whole cycle and how that goes from, how that cycles through a woman's life can be difficult for men to really understand.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So, all right, I'm sorry, continue.
Okay, good. So, and so even in that, I think it's a good conversation to have even when you first meet, right? To talk about so that you have an understanding of what? Not when you first meet, when you're dating. I'm sorry.
Wait a minute.
When you're dating. Not, okay, so.
Are you trying, you're trying to keep these people single out here? What is
when
going
you're
on?
dating, as you're getting to know each other, this should not be a conversation that waits until you're married. I'm just saying, along with the things that you share about each other as you're getting to know each other, whenever the time is right.
Can I offer an alternative perspective?
Yes.
Man, wait till you're married. I'm trying to think of the time, and even with us, at what time would I have brought this up? At what time would I have been expecting you to bring it up? I don't know. That's a lot.
The reason why I say it's a conversation. Hey, Casey, You already know.
You already know.
You missed that part.
You missed that part, bro.
So
Welcome,
anyway,
man.
what I'm saying is it's a natural occurrence that shouldn't be something that's avoided, right? It shouldn't be like, okay, you're dating and you say, hey, I got us 2 tickets to go to Mexico. And she says, oh, that's going to be my time of the month. And you go, oh, okay, I'll call you in 2 weeks. You know, it shouldn't be something that's taboo or something that you just go, oh, that's a woman thing. And all right, then, you know, call me when you come back. Or, you know, and so I'm just saying that the more that we normalize conversations about it or understanding each other's bodies, the easier it is for us to transition over time. So, it's not let's just talk about your period over dinner. It's not as easy as that.
No, it's not. So so tell me how you would, how would you, because the only way a conversation would happen, if it happened at all, is I would believe a man would have to be invited into said conversation.
Sure. So
at what point are you suggesting that?
Well, at the point where
invite comes.
Okay, so if we're dating, and probably if I have an abnormal period or I have problems with my cycles, if I have severe cramps or severe mood swings, or if it prevents me from doing things. Hey, James Easley Jr.
Yeah, man, you.
The train has left the station.
The train has left the station, and we going downhill like steaming fast. Go ahead.
It's all good. It's all good. But I mean, if I have problems or there's something, and I won't even say it's not abnormal, it's just maybe unique to me, or if it's something that's going to impact a vacation or our time together or whatever, right? Then I think that's where you introduce it into the conversation, right? Yep. Because especially if we're having premarital sex, it's going to come up.
It will.
Yeah. Now we do not condone premarital sex, but if you're having premarital sex, it's going to come up.
Sure it is. And so I asked that question because you floated out there. Yeah, people should be talking about that. I think that most couples probably not on the list of topics to talk about, right? So I think the where, the when, the context of that, if that conversation is going to happen, context is like really important. So
yeah, but I think for most couples, hey, you guys, if you're having sex, this is a conversation you should also have. I mean, I'm not Mama Perry. Mama Perry. So look, Lisa says when periods are bad for women, it's going to be obvious to any man paying attention that something is going on. And I think that's true, but I do think that they may be hesitant to ask a question about it. Who
will be hesitant?
The men.
Oh, hesitation suggests that there's movement and you stop. No. This is for most men. And if I'm wrong, guys, let me know.
Yeah.
Like, there's not a man I know
that
would jump into that conversation just on his, like, without something prompting that conversation. There's zero chance that's happening.
There are not a lot of women that I know that will easily jump into that conversation.
Yeah, but I think they are, if there's conversation to be had, if there's going to be impact, if something dramatically shifts, and I think it's kind of a precursor to where we're trying to get to tonight. But if something dramatically shifts, maybe a conversation is warranted. Yeah. There's most men are not jumping into that. They're not touching it, not going close.
Yeah. Hey, Sheila. I already said hey to you, Sheila. But yeah, thank you for saying it. She says, I'm not sure I could have had that conversation. And you're right, because it's not the way that we're raised, right? We're raised that to protect your private parts, and you don't talk about your private parts, and women don't talk about the things that they go through, except that we're laying down together, and we're having sex, but we're not talking about it. We're not looking at it, but we're doing it. It's crazy.
It's crazy. That's very interesting, and it's true. Here's where it begins to impact your life down the road, and where this division comes, right? This delta, this void, right? Here's how it happens. There is no good time to just bring it up. We just assume it happens. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's that time of the month, or you go to the store, you got to buy, whatever you got to buy, whatever. And there's some level of conversation maybe happening about what's happening, but there's not a conversation really about it, right? Yeah. We just kind of, hey, you just do what you do, and I see you when you get back, right?
Exactly.
And so now the cycle begins over the course of a life and over the course of a marriage, and then you get to a point where things begin to change. Well, we never started talking about it years ago.
Yes.
How do we get into it now? We don't. You just go over there, you do what you need to do, like you always done, and I'll be over here when you get back.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so I think it's an interesting idea, like, at what point do we initiate this conversation? But whenever that point is,
Yeah.
I'll just finish this piece by saying that's a woman thing. She gotta no dude is coming in there.
Yes, yeah. And Sheila says, keep your pants up and your dress down. Exactly. And it's biblical. Just go over there in the red tent with the other women and y'all commune together.
It's Old Testament.
That's
biblical,
Old Testament.
but,
and that's exactly my point. We're in a different time. But if you go in the red tent with the other women and y'all all sit around in a circle on your little pile and knit or whatever it is, and you support each other and all of those things. I do not want to offend anyone, but what I'm saying is at this point, it's a little bit different. And we really want, as we talk about being open, seen, transparent and honest with each other, it may be that the only person that you're open, honest, and transparent with is your spouse, right? Or one or two sisters in your life. We don't want you to suffer in silence, especially as it gets to a point where you need something more than yourself to be able to get through life. There are so many women who silently suffer through chronic depression that may be impacted by hormonal shifts, but because they're not aware that they are not in control of what's happening with them, women are dying. Let me just cut straight to the chase, because they weren't taught that they needed to talk about what was happening with them, and they weren't aware that what's happening with them is because of what's happening with changes with their bodies. Yep. So that's why we're just kind of going straight at it. So we're talking about menopause. Okay, so Byron says it's not good for a man to insinuate and or say you must be on your period as to say is the reason for relationship tension. Amen. Yeah. And I don't know any men who haven't said that.
Any?
Nope.
I don't recall. So anyway, no, that's exactly right. And that same, we're going to come back to this particular idea, right, as pointing to you must be going through for the reason why all this is happening, right? So, yeah, that's all. Because effectively, it's a profoundly insensitive thing to say.
It is. Yeah. James Easley Jr. says, I thought the silence only took place amongst men. Interesting. Yeah. Okay. So we started with what is menopause, and so I kind of took you back to menstruation, and then menopause in and of itself, the definition is the cessation. It means it ends. So you are no longer having a menstrual cycle, and you are no longer able to have children. That's what it is. So it either happens naturally over time as you age, between the ages of 45 and 55. That's what the textbook says, but the textbook doesn't know women exactly, or surgically if you have a hysterectomy before those ages, so it can happen at any time. Sheila says, my mom did not talk about menopause, but I remember my dad saying he would wake up in the middle of the night in the winter and my mom would have the windows cracked open. Amen. And a lot of us, that was the experience. And it's like, man, you can't turn the AC up and down because then we got fights over the electric bill. So the windows would be open and we would be freezing in the wintertime. Yes, and those are the things. There were hints of things happening, right? And we would feel the effects of what was going on, but we never really had a conversation about what was really happening to our moms, our grandmothers, and now to us. So now we're talking about it.
Yeah, when you think about generational cycles, right? Even I think back to all those, the temperature was a big deal at my house growing up. The temperature was a big deal at my grandparents' house growing up. And I remember, my dad, grandfather.
Yeah.
Like, rule the thermostat with an iron fist, like a Thanos claw. I mean, he was just, and as I think about that, like sometimes, actually, we're a little bit too far downstream.
Okay.
Come on back. But we got to think about the impact of our actions, like that 1 or 2 degrees. How important is that to you versus the comfort of your wife in this case? Right. So, but we'll get into all that. That's probably going to be at least a week, if not 2 weeks down the road before we really get into that. So, yeah. So let's continue on because I think what triggers the menstrual cycle, because I think that's important in terms of what begins to shut it down.
Interesting. So, what triggers a menstrual cycle? And so estrogen projection, right? So, hormones. Let's just say hormones. It doesn't matter which. So that's what triggers it. And so the production of the hormones, overproduction and stimulation and all of those things. So we talk about how puberty, once kids start to hit puberty, which is earlier and earlier and earlier these days, we start to see those changes, right? And so we talk about it in the order that it happens, right? So first we see breast development, then we see pubic hair, then the mood changes, which is interesting, right? And so the way you remember that is boobs, pubes, and then moody moods. That's the way I teach it to little girls. And so it's just like, okay. And so as soon as you see little buds, it's like, oh, here we go. Here we go. Yeah. So it's the boobs, then it's the hair, and then get ready because the moods are coming and they are not in control. And so it's just like, man, we want to strangle them, but they're not in control. So it's almost as if somebody has a little remote control somewhere else and they're controlling them. And all we can do is know that, all we do is react, right? Because it's frustrating. It's like, man. And then the next thing we're looking at is, and you hear people talk about these little fast tail girls, right? It's like, because it's the girls first. And it's like, wait a minute. And especially if you have sons, it's like, these girls are all, they calling my sons and talking about they want to be their girlfriends and they fast and what's going on? It's their hormones. And as we know, those hormones are serious because the hormones are saying it is time to make babies.
That's good.
At 9 years old, the hormones are saying, let's go, let's get it.
That's so
9
funny.
years old. And so they are not in control.
Yes. And so I like, we were talking about a train earlier, I like to think of it as like, there's like a train in a station, not moving.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden, it starts to get going. And then, next thing you know, boom, that bad boy is
gone.
It's gone.
Yes.
Right? And so as you go through but it's gone, but of course it has some hills and some valleys along the way. Right?
Yes.
But all of a sudden, and think about that train is going from what Wendy's saying, preteen for like several decades.
Yes. Decades.
Right?
Yeah.
Then what?
And so, because we're not talking about that tonight. Hey, Tommy, he says of all the nights to tune in while they eating.
Yeah, perfect. Enjoy.
So, then you introduce male hormones. And we're not talking about the men tonight, but it's the clash of the male hormones and the female hormones, which is why that teenage period up until, they get, teenage up until young adult age, there's such a clash because it's that clash of, but there's the clash of the hormones.
Yes.
And male hormones have an impact on female hormones. And so the female hormones are like, yeah, I'm ready to make a baby. And then the male hormones come in there like, put me in, coach. And the effort is to keep them apart. And so the more you try to keep them apart, the harder they fight to get together. So anyway, we speed past all of that. And then we get to when it's prime time for making babies. And you're going full throttle the whole time. Then we're trying to prevent them from having babies. But then you make your babies. Then your baby making season starts to decline. So as you get past all of that time, which is not what we're talking about tonight, you start to go into what's called premenopause, which is when the estrogen hormones start to drop. So as you get into premenopause, which is not perimenopause, premenopause is when estrogen starts to drop because it has been working at this point for a number of years, decades, almost 2 decades. And it's starting to say, okay, we tired now. We have done our job.
And maybe like 3, right? You said 2 decades, 3 decades. Yeah, so we're talking like late 30s, 40s.
Yep.
Okay.
Late 30s, late 30s. Yeah, we're getting the early 40s.
But there's always exceptions, by the way. Everything that Wendy is saying, always exceptions.
It's a loose timeline.
Yep.
It's a loose timeline.
Yep.
Byron Jackson says men oftentimes are deemed insensitive because women's menopause moods and post-hysterectomy experiences are different and we really don't understand.
Yep.
Exactly. And every woman is unique. Every woman is unique. And so, and everything isn't necessarily chalked up to hormones. And so, yes, hormones are a factor, but they're not the only factor. And how the hormones affect your woman is different. So, yes, hormones have an effect, but how they're impacting her is different, and that's based on genetics and how they affected her mom and her mom before her. Yeah. So estrogen starts to drop. Now, when estrogen drops, it doesn't just affect her sex drive. It also affects her joints. It also affects lubrication. And so when we talk about those things, it's like, man, what's wrong with you? When you were young and when we were first together, before we met, we used to have sex all the time. You were on fire. It was like you were swinging from the chandelier. We just got married a couple years ago. We were in our 20s. It was like, man, I couldn't keep you off of me.
Oh, those 20s.
I couldn't keep you off of me. That was just last week. Now we got married, and it's like, I got to, like, beg you. What happened? Mm-hmm. And it's like, it's not you, it's me, blah, blah, blah. And that causes a lot of tension in relationships. And it's like, hey, it's not that I don't want you. It's not, okay, but we're going to get into that, y'all. We're not talking about that tonight.
We are going to get into that.
We're not going to talk about that. So the estrogen starts to drop. But these are some of the things that you start to see. So then, for that next couple of years, we're getting into the perimenopause phase, which is that next phase. And again, this is linear, but it's not specific. Like, you can't think, okay, well, you're going to be in this phase for about 6 months, and then it's going to go to the next. Yeah. It doesn't necessarily happen like that. So Johnny Foster says most men can deal with the physiological, biological changes. It's the mental, emotional, and psychological changes that are like walking through a minefield. Thank you for that. That's when you say, what happened to the woman I married? Exactly. Because not only are you trying to figure out what's going on with her, but the key is that she is trying to figure out what's going on with her. She cannot articulate or tell you, hey, this is what's going on with me. And one of the primary reasons is because she doesn't know, and nobody told her what was going on with them when they were going through it. So she's not being elusive or secretive or trying not to tell you anything. She doesn't really know and can't explain it. It's a really, really difficult time.
Well, and when we say that most men can deal with the physical and biological changes, we actually don't have to deal with the physical and biological changes, like at all, right? Yeah. I mean, certainly, you know, if you're in pain, I can get you some, you know, whatever, some meds or rub your back or whatever. But like really the way that we deal with those changes, the way we experience those actually is through that psychological, emotional side of things. Right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, but and in saying that, and Johnny, it's a sweet sentiment, but I can tell you that there are some men who are like, I'm not really getting this, right? I mean, you say you have cramps or you don't feel good or your joints hurt, and it was a question that I asked Mike. I was like, you know, if you've ever been hit in the testicles, what does that feel like, right? And men can immediately, it's just like, we don't even want to talk about getting hit in the testicles. But it's after you get hit in the testicles, right? That is the way that he described it. I don't even have to ask you to describe it, but my point is this. If somebody said to you, you're going to be okay, I mean, can you just get up and walk it off? It's like, yeah, that's kind of like us. We're like, I have cramps. I just really don't feel like it. We're not trying to hear, can you go cook dinner? Can you just get up and keep moving? Would you be able to still do whatever, right? It's really, no one, I don't think any of us really expects to be treated like a queen or a princess at that time and just leave us alone and let us just curl up and, get into a nice, warm, cozy blanket with, pillows and just, pat our forehead with a cold towel and bring us treats to eat.
Wait a minute, you said nobody wants that?
I'm saying, we're not saying treat us that way. That's an ideal expectation.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It would be nice. But what I'm saying is we have adapted to our environment, that we push through a lot of all of those things because women always have, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
But I really need, because we're going to get into a lot of this stuff. I need the people to understand.
Yes.
At its baseline.
Yes.
What are we talking about?
So,
like,
yes.
I don't, we're going to deal with impact.
Yes.
In the coming weeks.
Okay.
I need to understand what we're talking about.
Okay, so as we get into perimenopause, when the estrogen really starts to drop and you really start to see more of the symptoms, because you guys are giving us some good things. So I don't want to skip over what you're putting in there, because Randy brings up a good point, which we're going to talk about in a couple of weeks. Because yes, the tendency is that if I'm trying to figure out what's going on with me, then I have less time to be attentive to you. And yes, that does breed some issues. So, as I said, the timeline, it's unique to your wife. So as the estrogen starts to drop, it brings up all of the things that Johnny said. It's physical, it's mental, it's biological, it's emotional. So you have all of those symptoms. I've been sharing openly with you guys over 10 years now, hot flashes, right? I had my little neck fan. I had the other little fan. I got the fan that I fan with all the time. And, really, that's all just kind of accessories, because the heat is coming from the inside. There's nothing I can do to stop a hot flash. It's just part of my life now. And the thing about that is, people can say, I remember the first time I talked about hot flashes here in the marriage shop, one of our elders from our church dropped in there. He was like, take whatever this medication is that came on TV. He's like, you need to get this. And I'm like, thank you. You need to take this.
Oh, boy.
And a lot of people say it. Even now, I could be having a conversation. They see a little sweat bead. Girl, you need to get HRT, hormone replacement therapy. It's not for everyone. You need to get a patch. You need to get a pill. You need to get a cream. There's all these different things that are available. But up until recently, we just saw a story tonight, there was a black box warning on most of the hormone replacement therapies that said it is the risk were outweighing the benefits. You were at increased risk for cardiovascular disease, increased risk for breast cancer, increased risk for joint problems, all of these things. So for years, there were warnings that said, if you take this, it will take care of hot flashes and other things, but it could potentially kill you. Yeah. I mean, it's like, man, we can't win out here. What's going on? So all of those things, but there's such a range of symptoms, and they don't talk about the other symptoms. Like, those are the major big symptoms. The hot flashes, I mean, that's thermoregulation. It's like you can be freezing cold and have a hot flash. They don't talk about that. They don't talk about brittle nails. They don't talk about your teeth falling out. They don't talk about numbness and tingling. It's all of these other little annoying things. Brain fog. A lot of women talk about brain fog. It's like, or just feeling like you are absolutely losing your mind. Like, am I crazy? And I will tell you that every woman that is in the menopausal cycle has said, am I crazy? At least 5,000 times. Am I crazy? Because it just does not make sense. So Sheila Wright says, due to breast cancer, I am prohibited from taking hormones. So there's so many things, so many reasons. So what do? We find a way. We cope. We ask for grace. We kind of try to work through it, and we walk through it. We live through it. You can live through it. It's not the end of the world, but it takes time. It takes years. Hey, Shanoy, it's been a while.
Oh, it's Purpose now.
Yeah.
Shanoy, Purpose, Kelly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So hot flashes, mood changes, trouble sleeping, night sweats, brain fog, you name it.
Let's talk about neurochemicals real fast.
Oh my gosh.
All right. So when understand like your experience of the world, right? Your ability to touch, taste, feel,
yes,
right? Your body's reactions to everything. That's all governed internally by what we call neurotransmitters, right? There's cells in your body that do all these things. If you can do surgery where you actually take somebody who's having brain surgery and you can apply electrical impulses to certain parts of the brain.
Yes.
You can stimulate muscle movements. You can stimulate sensation, temperature change, all the colors,
Yeah,
right? Visual, depending on where you are simulating those cells. Well, that's if you apply electrical impulses, right? But in your, just as you naturally live day to day, a lot of those, everything your body does is governed by hormone release and transmission from cell to cell. So hormones release, and they inform the body on what to do, how to feel, like how to respond. Some things you're aware of, some things you're not, right? And so, like, even let's take cortisol, stress hormone, right? When it's time to be afraid, time to run, time to fight, whatever, boom, you get that shot of cortisol, and instantly you're ready to fight. Your heart's beating. You didn't tell your heart to start beating, right? Your body just responded. So when there are dramatic changes, and I'm glad hysterectomies has come up a couple of times tonight, because with the hysterectomy, it's basically you go from, like, say maybe it's perimenopause, whatever, to boom. You are now in postmenopause instantaneously. Is that correct? Or you're in menopause? Whatever. All the hormone production, boom, cease. Right now.
When you're actually in menopause, you mean?
When you get a hysterectomy.
Oh, when you get a hysterectomy. You're in menopause. You are postmenopausal because you stopped having periods. So the difference between menopause and postmenopausal is the 12 months of no period, or surgical menopause when you have a hysterectomy, which means you cannot have kids and you have no periods.
Right. And so that person, we talked about this train, like at least with perimenopause and the menopause, the stages, that train is like, is slowing down, speeding up, slowing down a little bit more. There's somewhat of a gradual downward thing versus boom, instantaneous, right? Which can be a real trip on your body and on your mind. Why am I bringing all this up? Because, and Johnny asked the question I'm getting to right there. His question is your body actually hot like when you have a fever, or do you just feel hot? In other words, does the body temperature actually increase above 98.6?
Answer that question.
I have no idea. I just know that you're... Actually, your body temperature does increase. I actually have evidence.
Yes, you do.
It does increase. And so what is it that stimulates your body to create a temperature anyway, right? And so those same functions are just triggering. Your hormones are dumping, and they're giving instructions, right? And your body is responding. And so when somebody feels hot, like, I'm glad Johnny brings up a temperature. If somebody has a temperature, you can tell them all day what temperature it is in the room. They're either going to be feeling super hot or they're going to have chills. Right? And so it's really a waste of time to get into, like, man, why do you feel that way? And blah, blah. Like, but that's what happens when you have significant changes in neurochemicals over time, right? And so, but so it's, in other words, what they're thinking and feeling is actually as real as anything.
It is real, right, Johnny. Your body temperature does increase. It's not just that you're profusely sweating and it's not all in your head. It increases. There are times when I have said, Mike, feel this. Feel right here. There are times when he'll get in the bed and he'll say, oh, you are hot. And I'm like. And
sometimes I'm like, oh, my feet are cold.
That too.
Hook me up.
It is an actual raise in body temperature. Now, again, every woman is different, but I can tell you, yes, there's an actual raise in body temperature. And the problem is there's an issue with thermoregulation. So it doesn't matter actually how much I fan. The fanning is just trying to make me feel good, and it's giving me the illusion that I am cooling my body down, but it actually just triggers my body to try to cool itself down, which is why, it's crazy. It's crazy. But what I imagine is the things that are supposed to be working are actually just kind of sitting around chilling, like smoking a cigarette, like, oh, you know what, I'm supposed to be doing something right now. Hold on. And then they decide they're going to do what they're supposed to be doing.
That's funny. One other thing I want to, in order just for the purpose of illustration, think about anything that stresses you out. I'm talking to the men primarily. For some men, it's snakes. For some men, maybe it's dogs. For some men, maybe it's the police, the appearance of, right? So whatever it might be, whatever thing is gets your heart jumping in an instant. You can't control that, right? Your body just reacts and responds. And so you just got to sometimes go with it, or, wait until your body does something different. So I think when we're talking about some of these changes, that it's that level of change. Is that a
I think that's fair. It's kind of like fight or flight. I mean, it explains why walking in my own house every week, I could be standing in the kitchen. I turn around, Mike is standing there, and I'm like, "What? Where did you come from?" And he's like, "I live here." I'm sure that has happened. It's the same thing. And it's like, I know he's here. I know he lives here. I know he just walked through, but I'm still startled by his presence. There's no logical explanation for it. I'm not losing my mind, but I am reacting. Those types of things. I mean, there's a whole list, which is why we have to take 2 weeks with this. There's so many things that are unexplained. But here's the thing that makes it so challenging is that this is not a one and done. This happens over a period of years. Yeah. And I can tell you that even going through menopause, that whole journey, I mean, I'll just tell you, for me, even when it started, I mean, we were there, it was just a regular day. I went in the room, I was in the room, I was reading something, and all of a sudden I had the first hot flash. And it lasted like 2 hours, and I thought I was about to die. I immediately messaged my provider. That day, I said, something is wrong. I need to come see you. I have been sweating for like 2 hours. And she was like, nothing is wrong. And if you think you're going in, you're probably going in. And I was like, no, I'm coming to see you tomorrow. It lasted 2 hours, and it kept going. And from that day, I started counting. And I was like, okay, if I don't have a cycle, I made it 11 months. It was like 11 months and like
27 days.
27 days.
Like yeah.
And when I tell you, when I went to the bathroom, this is too much information, but I cried. I screamed.
So, well, I think, so I don't think, well, I know there are a lot of people here that don't understand the significance of that year. So
you have to make it a whole 12 months without a menstrual cycle in order to be in what's called actual menopause. If you go 11 months, 3 weeks in a day, and then you have a menstrual cycle, then it starts all over back to day one. If you go 11 months, 4 weeks in 1 hour, and then you have a menstrual cycle, you start back over to day one. That's how it is. And that happens to women all over again. Yeah. It is an emotional mess.
Which is many past the initial, like that couple of hours of hot flash you discussed, which is what makes this problematic. Because oftentimes, I can think women going in, they don't know they're in there yet.
No.
Right? And so it's like everybody, so now you start this cycle of reacting at home. And and it can be a bit of a challenge. Yeah. But, and this is real. And I know that many of the guys will get with me on this. Yeah. Like, as the husband in this situation, it's probably a bad idea to say, is it time? It's probably a bad idea to say that. Like, are we there? Are we in it? Right? And so we'll talk about what you perhaps might consider doing instead. All right.
Yeah, but, it's also a bad idea to say,
a couple of weeks.
Well, you already hot and sweaty, so.
I don't know
my gosh. Like, so guys, I know I kind of went down the rabbit hole here, there, and everywhere. Mike was trying to get me to go, but it's so much to talk about, and we're out of time. But you're right, and Shanoy, thank you for saying that. But yeah, emotions are all over the place. Hot flashes, you don't know if you're coming or going. It's not just at home, it's at work. And we have managed to navigate all of those things. It's not just our husbands, it's our kids. It's work, it's at home, it's everywhere. Mm-hmm. But I want to encourage you that you can get through this, and you have support, and we're going to talk about it, and you have an opportunity to try to get some questions answered, and you have an opportunity to kind of share some things and ask us whatever you want to ask us. But we are going to talk about this for a couple of weeks. We're going to talk about how it affects relationships. We're going to talk about how hormones affect men and all of those things. So we appreciate you guys jumping in tonight. We appreciate all of your comments because they're on point. And we invite you to join us back in here on Monday.
Yeah, come back. And come back. Continue to bring your comments. Bring the questions. Yeah. Super important in order to really have a real dialogue about all this. Yes. Because it is it's really impacting a lot of people. And for some people, this is the first dialogue they will ever have about it.
Yeah.
And so we appreciate you allowing us to, walk through that with you a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So
at home in the choir stand. Amen.
So yeah, so more to follow. Yeah. All right. So let's hey, we're gonna pray and we can get out of here. All right. Heavenly Father, we come tonight just thanking you for being God. Thank you for allowing us to be here and for the ability to have challenging conversations, God. So we just ask you continue to guide us. We ask that you be with anyone who's out there struggling with any of the things that we talked about. We thank you for anyone that you've brought through, God. And so we just continue to lean on you and trust you to be with us no matter what our challenges are, because your word tells us you'll never leave us, nor will you forsake us, God. So we ask that you bless every home, every couple, every family, God. We'll be sure to give you all the honor and the glory and the praise. We thank you. We love you. We pray these and all blessings in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
All right, y'all. So we're going to try put the train on the tracks and keep on going down. And we'll take an occasional detour, apparently. So we'll take what we'll call excursions, apparently. So we'll do that. But we're gonna get through it. So hopefully it helps somebody. All right. Love y'all. You already know what it is. It's your boy JC.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's your boy JC. I'm in the mood. Love. Yeah. Lately I've been constantly thinking about you, babe. You drive me crazy. Yeah. And girl, I want this. Got me all up in my feelings. Over the feeling, yeah. I knew the first time I laid eyes on you that you would be here forever. I'm not being arrogant, and I still can't take my eyes off you. 'Cause you made me better, so much better. I'm in the mood to love you for a lifetime. I'm in the mood to love you for a lifetime, baby. Yeah. I love your kindness, I love your confidence. Ooh, you're the finest. So glad you're mine, yeah, yeah, yeah. And I don't wanna be with nobody else. Give me your love, that's all the wealth I need. Baby, you're priceless to me, yeah. To love you for a lifetime. I'm in the mood to love you for a lifetime, yeah. Whoa. Promise I'ma be around, I'ma always hold you down. Won't you come and hold me now? Won't you come and hold me now? I just got a new coupe, yeah, I know I got a roof, but I always keep it down with you, yeah. And I know they see it. Girl, you're my queen, and beauty speaks for itself loud and clear, yeah. So throw it in the air. It's the sweetest sound to follow my ear. And I want the world to know I'll love you forever. And that's a long time, babe. But I got time for you, babe.